Alright, let's give this another try. So, rebooted the computer, did some changes, and it seems like it's playing a little bit better nicely, so we'll see how this goes. So, gonna do some ranked, probably gonna warm up a little, and then try to get these cranked out. Probably gonna play, I'm not even sure what deck I want to play. I'm probably gonna do the Obosh Companion. Red and black, get these two out. And then we'll go to blue and green. Oh, that was interesting. Murderous Rider. I would have probably gotten rid of the Cauldron Familiar. Oh, but then I can bring it back, so...
delightfully friendly.
Well, that was a lot of fun. So let's see, blue and green, 13. You know, I think I'm gonna go over to a swap this out for blue and green. Oh, that's an interesting hand. I probably should have mulliganed, but we'll see. At least I can get Frogify down if they bring out any creatures first. Like that. I like it here as a companion. So is this a red and green?
Which cannot protect itself. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I'm gonna have to get some damage into Nissa. Do not want her to hit that -8. Oh, well, that's nice.
I think I'm a decent enough pyromancer.
It's a nice little elemental deck.
Whoosh! Up in flames!
Oh, that sucked.
Rise, my elemental friend.
That's a quick deck. Oh, that's game over.
I'm gonna try something new.
That's a really nice deck. Now hopefully I can get the Risen Reef out. I'm hoping I didn't screw myself by keeping this hand. Oh, I might have. I really gotta learn to mulligan. Yep. That'll teach me to not mulligan. cards are in this deck? 67. Can I get rid of? Oh, that's a much better hand. A life gain deck with Heliod. Who wants to bet? I do love Frost Lynx. I think that's my favorite blue card right now. I hate that. I hate hexproof. That's kind of nice. I like that I have Thassa. You know, I love the hexproof slash. I'm gonna convert this thing. Wait, why did that? Oh shoot, that was not what I wanted to do, fuck. That was not what I wanted to do. Now at least I got my 500 gold. I did not want to attack with all that stuff. Ugh. I just want to attack with my flying creature and leave everything else alone. So I could bounce. The choice of playing arena versus being able to sit there and say, oh, I want to attack with it. I think I'm gonna mulligan that. There we go. You know what? This is gonna be interesting. I added Primal Empathy into this deck just to see how that would impact it. Oh, I love seeing the new creatures. wonder if this is some type of Orzhov Aristocrats deck with adding in Serrated Scorpion. Yep. It's a nice little addition. Nice. I like Orzhov's Aristocrats. It's a really nice deck. I really do like the way the deck plays. Very nice way. I do like I like this deck. Now what I really would love is if I could get my nice. I really like this deck. Really nice deck. I wonder if I can get any land. Nice. Oh, that was worth a shot. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take you. Take you. Take you. Take you. Oh, this person's gonna hate me. There wasn't really much I could have done. If I would have had Stasis sooner, it would have been nice, but hey, I got my level up. That's what I really wanted, to see my packs of cards. Vivian Arcbow, not bad. 4 rare, 6 uncommon, 8 common. What the hell am I doing on the deck? On the new set here. What do I think I have 4? I want to craft that. I kind of want to create a menace deck. Alright, so I have 1 more rare. Might as well finish off that one. Alright, we have a little bit more uncommons that are open here. Oh, Void Invader. Death Corona. A fun fact, I bought a couple boxes. I got 6 of those, sold 4 of them for 18 to 25 bucks a piece. However, I've noticed the price is going down on them, so I would hold off any purchases of that. You know, I really don't know what card I could possibly need. Lizard. Flame Spill is kind of a neat card. Maybe I'll just hold on to these. Got a couple of the comments left. So I think I'm just going to go through and craft from white to... The commons are always the easiest to get 4 of. That got me a couple more cards. No, discard. What's this? Festival, Clever Reflections. That's kind of cool. Not worth 2,500 gems though. What I'm trying to do is save enough gems for, uh-oh, waiting for server. That's not good. You know, what I want to try to do is get into the anthologies. I want to do some more historic. I bought the Historic Anthology 1 bundle. I've been holding off on the 2, and now they came out with the 3, and the thing that worries me is when it says offer ending soon. You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Can you craft? I'm not even 100% sure because I bought the Historic 1, but I'm wondering if you're going to be able to buy these cards individually, or if it's going to be one of those things once Historic Anthology bundle's gone, that's it. You know, in the Historic Anthology 3, you know, I like what they're trying to do with all the different cards. I'm not 100% sure how they decide what card they decide to bring in, or if there's just ones that they're like, oh, let's just throw this in here. But I'm loving that it's all these different sets, and a lot of these symbols. You know, there was a period in Magic where I didn't play, and like I don't know what that symbol is. I don't know what that one is, and it's kind of cool seeing these cards that are starting to. I know what that one is. That they're starting to bring in, and you know the historic. You know, especially as we go on with Arena, the ability to play historic, I think, is going to become more and more attractive. You know, a lot of my decks are for basic, for standard. I think there was one event that was for historic. Yeah, these right here. There's a historic brawl or something, and I set these decks up for historic. But a lot of these decks are all set up for modern play, and as sets rotate out, I started trying to rotate new stuff in. And I mean, the big thing is going to be for me is when Ravnica sets start being rotated out in the fall, and I start losing those lands where you pay 2 life and you can it's a dual land, because a lot of my decks depend on them, and I run a lot of 2-color decks. Now, ever since Ikoria came out, I started running a lot more tricolor decks, so you start seeing more companion decks. You know, Feral Cat Mutate, Kathira Companion, just because you know, Mardu Humans. So there's going to be, I think I'm going to start switching more to 3-color decks, just because that seems to be the more popular thing to do. You know, there are some 2-color decks like Thas Elemental. I think the power of that deck is just that it's 2 colors. So, and there's still some decks like Ashiok's Nightmare that, you know, I think to make that even more of an effective deck, I gotta add white into there. I just haven't gotten the time to do it. And even with the Feral Cat Mutate, the Feral Cat Mutate is an iteration of the Kathira Companion, just removes the companion. And with this, it just brought in a lot, like the Cauldron Familiar, the Witch Oven, Necropanther. So it brought in a couple of the Mortify just for some creature, yeah, can't talk tonight, creature removal. And I think that deck did a lot better. Now, there was one viewer that said that they knocked Kathira down 7 cards. A lot of my decks run 65, 67. So They said they knocked it down to 60 cards and it actually worked a lot better. So therefore, you know, I might try to look at. I asked the person, hey, what'd you do? You know, because I always like feedback. You know, if you can figure out a way to make something more efficient and you run the deck and it works a lot nicer, that's amazing. Great. You know, this deck, I do like these triumphs. Just opened up a box of Cons of Takir today. Got a bunch of original triomes, so it was kind of cool seeing the original triomes in Cons of Takir. It was also interesting, you know, because I wasn't familiar with the set. I looked up how much, you know, the tri-lands were in Cons of Takir, and they're only like sub $2. And it's amazing how when a set rotates out of standard, how the pricing really drops drastically. If you look at the triomes and what people are getting for triomes now, it's amazing. You know, $9, $8, and you know, even the foil versions. I sold one foil version that I got in one of my booster boxes. Foils are neat. I just other, you know, I just started building some commander decks, and you know, with the commander decks, I think I'm gonna be, I don't know if I'd go out and buy, foils, but if I had foils laying around that I got in sets, I might start keeping at least one card of every foil I get, just for commander decks, and as the sets rotate and some cards become better in commander, you know, I'm gonna try to, you know, stay with the foils just because it kind of looks nice. You know, oh man, oh, at least this works. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but at least that takes care of them. I like the pacifism art on this card. I like this with Ikoria. Man, I hope I get another land. I'm mana screwed here. If I don't get another land in the next couple turns, I'm pretty much screwed. Well, that's gonna be interesting. You must have a way to. That's interesting. Nice idea, though. It'd be awesome if he has a way to sacrifice that creature. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't even know what that was, but that was really cool. Fling. That's an interesting kind of self-suicide. So that's just for a mental note, I probably should have killed that creature. So if you see a deck like that and they start pumping up that creature, that's what they're gonna do. Really cool strategy. I mean, the thing I like about Arena is, you know, you can play so many different types of people outside of your normal LGS, and it's just interesting to watch what people do. And yeah, that was really cool. That was pretty cool. You know, I probably should have murdered that creature and when it was early instead of just, you know, after I had it pacified. But, you know, you make that mistake once, and then the next time you see that creature, you're like, I'm wondering if this is what the person's doing. You know, learning how that, you know, and I haven't played a lot of cards, since this new set came out, just because I've been busy, in the last, since the 15th, I've opened up 8 boxes of boosters, and I've opened up 4 boxes of collectors, so trying to get different cards, and then I've been selling all the ones out of the sets that I really don't need. So that's actually started to calm down. I'd have a lot of commons left of Ikoria. So if anyone's looking for bulk commons, you know, I can help you out with that. I do like the companions. The companions have been a really interesting thing, and I know a lot of people are really not liking the companions. But I definitely like the companions. I think it's a neat twist. Oh, he just killed my creature. Uh-oh. My computer might have just crashed. And it did. Oh, that was fun. Alright. Come back, Magic. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with my hard drive. There's some type of issue. And unfortunately, you know, I don't want to format and try to swap out the drive or do any of that stuff. So I have another computer coming in, a brand new Alienware to do streaming. Just purchased an R11. The one I'm using right now is an R7. So it's a little older generation. Oh good, I was able to connect back. That's always miserable. See, sometimes when people disappear, it's not because they're trying to rope you, it's because they literally, their computer crashed. So, hey, look at that. I'm glad I was able to get back in. This guy's probably not. He's like, oh yes, I got that nice easy win with the red deck wins. So, Crystalline Giant, very cool card. I do like Crystalline Giant. Very nice card. What is this one? Choose a kind of counter at random that doesn't have it. First strike, flying, death touch, hexproof. So it has first hexproof. That's not bad for 3. Let's see what he does. That's the only downside about companions. You get them and then they're gone. So keep that in mind if you want, again, like, I don't know. I mean, if the companion was more like your commander, I think I would have more issues with it, but because, oh, Death Touch and Hexproof, that's awesome. That's why I don't like really get Goblin Banneret. I mean, let's see if they block. I mean, mean, that's an even trade because that thing's just gonna keep on getting random freaking. Yeah, I really didn't want to bring him out yet because if I drop him down to 3, I need to have a way to defend him because if this is a burn deck and it has some burn spells, I just really don't want to put a Johnny at risk by dropping him down to 3 and then have him have something that can deal direct 3 damage. So at least if I put Keeper of Fables out, I can at least bump him up to 6 and then drop him back down to 4. Spring allergies, man, been killing me. That's a lot of spells on one creature.
I seek a path. A pure soul can inspire others.
This will be interesting. Oh, what's that card? Oh, that's kind of cool. Underworld Breach. This is, I think, the first time I've seen that card played.
Friendship feeds the soul.
That's kind of a cool card. Storm's Wraith.
Remember what I taught you.
This is kind of like a next-gen red deck wins. Although they're not really being real efficient with... Oh shit, how many cards? 54 cards. Huh. That's gonna be interesting. That's the only problem with red decks is if you can produce enough of creatures and you're like if he was trading 2 cards or he or she was trading 2 cards to my 1 creature, and when you start doing that with burn decks, if the person can generate enough creatures, you're not going to do well in the long game, and it's just not going to work real well for you. So with Feral Cat Mutate, again, I'll bring the deck up here. you know, it's definitely a lot of fun. You know, like I said, this started out as just a companion deck. I tried to mess with Cat's decks before Ikoria came out. I started messing with Cat decks with Throne of Eldraine when I did a pre-release, or Theros, I should say, Theros Beyond Death, and I did Throne of Eldraine, and I got both Bronze Hide Lion, and I had Keepers of Fables, and it was funny with Bronze Hide Lion, because someone had Hydra's Growth that I played in one of the rounds, and his thing had lifelink. He put it on a creature that had lifelink, and 3 or 4 turns, I kept on doing, Bronze Head Lion gains indestructible and stopping the creature because the creature didn't have trample. And it was funny because after a while, the guy had like 30 some counters on it. I'm like, look, I'm just gonna concede because I can keep on sitting here blocking that Bronze Head Lion, but at the end of the day, you're gaining, insane life, and it's just not worth me to waste our time. So, but yeah, I mean, this one, once Ikoria came out and they brought out all these cats, I start to really, and it's gonna be a shame when M20 cycles out. I'll have to find some type of enchantment creature that does. I haven't really looked. I've handled a lot of Ikoria. Haven't really looked at a lot of the cards, and I mean, with Cat Cauldron Familiar, I hated the Cat Oven deck, but I'm like, well, let me make something a little different. Let me make something that's full of cats and beasts, and even with this deck, a cat elemental or beast card, and even with this, I mean, could probably swap out King Caesar for Questing Beast, and maybe Questing Beast is a little bit better than King Caesar. Creatures you control vigilance, and I don't think there's many creatures. I like Shatter the Sky. Shatter the Sky is my favorite new white card. I might actually take out Frontland Fielder, because the only creatures that have vigilance is these. So I'm actually, whoops. I gotta add in Johnny. Johnny! Because, I think Questing Beast would fit that a lot better. And we can still play with the Beast. I don't think they really did anything with my swamps. 4, 5, I'm already on the... But yeah, I think Questing Beast is actually a better fit. And even Keeper of the Fables. I like it for drawing the card ability. I mean, and I've played a couple matches with this, and it definitely has come in handy, so I don't want to remove that. Remove the Huntmaster Liger. So 66 cards. Necropanther, nice mutatability. I like the mutatability of the Necropanther. Return a creature card with. So I mean, even if you screw up and you lose your Bronze Headline, you can bring them back, or the Essence Symbiote, or a Johnny's Pride Mate, or even the Cauldron Familiar. So Cub Warden, and I like Cub Warden. Cub Warden, I like to mutate. Just for the 2/1/1 white creature tokens with lifelink. I mean, that can become very powerful. Even if it's just something you could just feed to the Witch Oven. Passicism. Passicisms I might change out. I might actually put Oh, it's from Theros. It's from Theros. It's white. Oops. Not questing. Dreadful Apathy. Even that might even be one that I might swap out, because if I would have enchanted, you know, either that or Banishing Light. There we go. Don't get old. Do not get old. I think this is indigestion or something that's killing me. Is either that or allergies. Alright. I think I'm just going to update some decks and take a look at different decks. So, if you're into decks and looking at different types of decks, so this one's all based upon Nightmares. Thief of Sanity is a very powerful card in this. Ashiok's Nightmare Muse, really great card. So even that, I need to trim down some cards. You know, when these lands are, these are the lands I was talking about, that when they cycle out, I'm going to be really missing them. I really enjoy them. You know, I think Fable Passage will help kind of take their place. You know, even after Fable Passage came out and they had the Pro Tour, when I saw a lot of the pro players using Fable Passage, I really started enjoying this card. And I mean, even from the other one, the common version of that does basically the same thing, except for if you control 4 or more lands, untap that land. I really like this. It really gives flexibility, especially in decks where I'm heavy on like 2 of a certain color. You know, you can, you know, if you're, you know, like with this deck, if you have 3 blue and 1 black, and you really need that other black for half these spells, it really comes in handy. So Fable Passage is one of my favorite land cards at the current time. Now, now the one deck, I've been working on this trample deck, and there's this one red card, and I saw it when I was moving doing all this stuff with the Throne of Eldraine, Throne of Eldraine, Ikoria. So it's actually kind of funny. The sets are now in the current standard. Guilds of Ravnica and Ravnica Legions is when I got back into Magic. So it's kind of amazing how just in the short couple of years, all the new sets that have come out. So I'm looking for red and green, and I forget what the card was. There's one of those cards, you know, the one thing I like about putting all the cards in the book is it's an easy way to... Maybe this is it, Footfall Crater. So this is the whole idea of this is basically Quartzwood Crasher, amazing card. Get your creatures to trample and just start wrecking them. You know, I think I might actually kill the Pelt Collector. And just... Because they don't have trample, fully grown. Oh, there's a lot of There's one other land. Or person. Yeah. I'll have to find it. Maybe it was an Eldraine. Or yeah, Ikoria. And I think... Escape 5, Exile 4. I think I'm going to remove him. Put in some Questing Beast. Yeah, let's play some red and green. Whoops. Now this deck is still underneath. It's still underneath. This deck is still under a work in progress. That was a tough call because I guess it really doesn't matter. You know, this is actually the first time I played with Kloftos. Nice. Yeah, how do you like them apples? This is a crazy... I like that card. We're gonna be sitting here slapping each other. I'm not pulling my mana though, that's what's depressing. Now I'm hoping there's other oh, there's only creatures. Man, I'm really getting mana screwed in this. Well, this deck really isn't doing what I wanted to do, but...
My prowess is unmatched by my peers.
Well, this is going to be interesting. I would love for 1 mana to come out. I never wanted more creatures.
Keep an open mind.
Am I missing something? Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get why that person mutated. I'll have to look at that. I don't know if it was a mana thing, but I personally would not have mutated it. I would have tried to drop that down as another creature. You know, I missed it other than, you know, I'm like, oh, good, he's going to have a 6-something flyer, but, nah. But yeah, this deck, I kind of enjoy. I guess it's still tweaking the mana. It's, you know, 63 cards. Need the Footfall Crater, because we got a lot of these other creatures, like the Phoenix, and the whole idea is to get all these creatures that have trample to basically use the Quartzwood Dinosaur Crasher to generate additional dinosaur tokens. And then use Thrash and Threat as other means to generate. And even with this, the Skrylands, Castle Garenbrig, I might actually take the Castle Garenbrig out, and maybe I'll put two more Stomping Grounds in. So we got 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I just don't know. 4 mana to add 6 green. I wonder if there's any type of other. What am I thinking? I'm thinking Throne of Eldraine. Man, I'll tell you what. I had 4 of these in foil, 4 of these in regular, and I sold 4 of them because I only wanted 2 foil, 2 regulars, and I feel a bit bad for the people that bought them because right after they bought them, they banned that card, and they also did that to Oko. And I think I sold 1 Oko. It was like one of the extended foils for like 50, 60 bucks. You know, and that's the one thing that when people are always about like, oh, just ban it, just ban it, just ban it. You know, you really gotta think. When you're talking about banning stuff, what the impact is on the secondary market, and you know, there's something to think about. But Trample Rama, Feral Cat Mutate, these 2 I consider my Ikoria decks. This one is still, I consider my Throne Eldraine, or no, Theros, Obosh, Illumina, Ikoria, Theros, Ikoria. I forget what that one is. I'll have to look at that. Kemthis, Zombie Elf. This one I think is mostly War the Spark Ravnica. A couple new cards in there. Oh, I gotta just went straight to decks. Urun Companion, messing with it. Still not right where it is. You're Mardu Human. Ooh, buy styles. Yes, please. So this is another one just kind of messing with. Soldier deck, Mardu Humans. Also generating Divine Visitation, and also this is a very good Elspeth. I do like this Elspeth. So it's gonna be, you know, this is another one that's kind of in progress. I'm save and exit, don't want to change. But anyway, well, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, so time for me to hit the bed and get up for work at 7 a.m.